Change our focus now to sport. Hideki Matsuyama had tears in his eyes as he held on to win the Masters by a single shot at Augusta National. He started the final round with a 4-shot lead over a 4-men chasing pack, including Australian Mark Leishman, who failed to close that gap, but other contenders were in the hunt when Matsuyama ran into trouble on the home stretch.
Directly at it.
Softly, softly. Oh no.
4 straight birdies had Xander Schuaffele within striking distance, and only for the American to card a triple bogey on the 16th. Countryman Will Zalatoris was in the clubhouse at 9 under, but Matsuyama's lead was just big enough to avoid a playoff.
It's okay. Right down to the wire. Who predicted that by 1? Matsuyama is Japan's first Masters champion.
The 2011 low amateur, now a proud owner of a green jacket, becoming just the 7th player in history to achieve both, and the first Japanese man to win a major. I've got the Japanese ambassador to Australia, Shingo Yamagami, with me in the studio. Ambassador Yamagami, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Congratulations. And how big is the reaction in Japan going to be to this news?
Very, very big, and they are all excited about this news. Actually, Matsuyama Hideki is not only the first Japanese, but also the first Asian to win the Masters. And his victory is what Japanese golf fans have been waiting for years. And beyond that, his play at the Masters has been gaining more attention in Japan these days. Prime Minister Suga commented on Matsuyama's victory this morning and congratulated him.
Yeah, indeed. I can see why. There's a rich golfing tradition in Japan. I remember Jumbo and Jet Osaki. Yes. These Jumbo Osaki's in the Golf Hall of Fame, and now, but none of them had won a major. And Hideki seems a very humble man, and he got the job done.
I agree with you. And actually, last year, Shibuya Hinako won the Women's British Open, and she was the second Japanese woman who won the major game. And actually, Matsuyama is the 4th Japanese man who won a tour in the United States. So, building on the legacy of Jumbo Ozaki and Aoki Isao, many Japanese players join international tournaments, and hopefully there is a high probability of winning some of those tournaments in the future.
And there'll be a lot of Japanese celebrations, I think, off the back of this result. And Hideki Matsuyama said, actually, when he was receiving the green jacket, that it will open the floodgates, he believes, for more Japanese to follow his footsteps.
Oh, yes, I hope so too. And like many other sports, I'm sure more youngsters are motivated to play golf. And the news itself moved and encouraged Japanese youngsters.
This is a big year for Japan. Obviously, a different Olympics than we otherwise might expect, given the COVID pandemic. But the Olympics is going to go ahead by the looks of things. And I can't imagine there would be a bigger hero at those Olympics than Hideki Matsuyama this year.
Oh, yes. I think this is certainly is great news, and Matsuyama will receive an enormous welcome when he goes home. And when it comes to the Tokyo Olympics, I think it is a role of Japan to keep this torch at the end of the long tunnel of pandemic. And Tokyo Organizers Committee is making every effort and taking all measures to make the Tokyo Games as safe as possible. So we hope to see a great games in Tokyo.
And are you feeling confident about that, given the challenges that have been in place?
Well, yes, preparations are going on as scheduled, and every precautionary measure is taken. So I keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah, we all do for that. It should be something to take our attention off what has been a difficult 18 months or so. But then for the Japanese sporting world, we spoke about Hideki Matsuyama, but we should also mention just a few days ago, the 17-year-old Tsubasa Kajitani. 17-year-old won the Augusta Women's Amateur. So it was obviously a wonderful week for Japanese fans.
couldn't be more wonderful. And I just wanted to add, the head coach of the Japanese national golf team since 2015 is Australian, Mr. Gareth Jones. So the Japanese team will further improve with Australian guidance.
Oh, that's good collaboration then. Ambassador Yamagami, I appreciate your time. Congratulations to you and your fellow countrymen.
Thank you very much.
A big result for Japan and for Hideki Matsuyama.